Okay. Hey, I hope this is working. Struggling a little bit today to get my technology together. Hold on. Don't have the mic plugged in. Boom. All right. So, hi. Thanks for joining me today. It is time for the full moon in Aries, and there are a couple of things I want to do. I want to channel some energy, some information for us all for the full moon in Aries. And I want to actually, I realize I can't see questions. So actually, now I can see questions. So if you want me to do a reading for you, I'm more than happy to. I just need you to type your question or your situation into the chat, and then I will answer it in just a few minutes. Okay. So right now the full moon is in Aries. It actually rises tomorrow, which is Sunday, October 13th. It rises around 6 o'clock in the evening on the East Coast of the United States. So this is not the exact time. I think the exact time might be at midnight. I'm sorry, at 6:47 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That doesn't really matter unless you are trying to use if you're trying to do a precise moon ritual, then you would want to check out the time online to get the right answer. Otherwise, the full moon in Aries is really, really important. Now, my name is Crystal Lynn Bell, and you might know me as the Badass Butterfly. I started calling myself a Badass Butterfly a couple of years ago, and now I really own it. So a Badass Butterfly for me is a butterfly who lives her life taking really big risks on her heart's desires. So obviously a butterfly starts off as a caterpillar, and then they go through a big, important, and wild transformation to become a butterfly. And that alone is badass. Just alone being a caterpillar and going through the entire transformation process is mind-blowing. But to come out of the cocoon, which is another mind-blowing thing. Most butterflies don't make it out of the cocoon. Most caterpillars don't even get from the egg stage to the larva stage. It doesn't even, even doing that is a great feat, and surviving in the forest, not getting eaten. All of these things, all of this is to say that it's a really big deal if you've made it to the point of being a butterfly, right? That alone is badass. Now, the thing is, once a butterfly becomes a butterfly, it's not like life is over and all they do is fly around. No, actually, butterflies in nature have a really important role. And their important role is to create. So every butterfly, all the females, have to go out and get her eggs fertilized. So she has to find a partner, and they have the sex one time. And what the male does is I'm just going to say ejaculates. That's not actually the right word to use in this case, but he ejaculates into her hymen, I think it's called, can't remember, sorry. He put the sperm in there. And then what she has to do is she has to carry that around, and actually that fertilizes the eggs. That fertilizes all of her eggs inside of her, hundreds of eggs inside of her. So she's carrying around the the fertilized eggs. And what she has to do is lay those eggs. This is where the butterfly's work comes in. She has to find the right environment to lay her eggs. Usually it's on the bottom of a leaf where the bottom of a leaf of an edible tree. So when when the babies come out, they have to start eating immediately. So she has to lay them on the bottom of a fruit tree or of an herb that the butterfly or the larva can actually eat once they hatch. So a butterfly, once she becomes a butterfly, she must create. She must give life. She must give birth. And that is what I and all my tribe members do. We are women who are creating, whether we're creating families, whether we're creating businesses, whether we're writing books, we are working in our community, we're serving. This is our creative self, and this is what it means to be a badass butterfly. There's work that you do, that's your job, that you do to survive, but then there are things that you do that are about creating life, creating moments. It can be connecting with a partner in actual love and romantic sexuality. That's an act of creation. But it can also be creating with your best friend. You guys are just sitting down having a laugh. She's laughing, you're laughing. There's just energy, and you all are co-creating a beautiful moment together. Maybe, though, you feel something in your heart, and this is really what this is kind of all about today, is understanding that as a badass butterfly, you have a dream in your heart, and you have a responsibility to that dream in your heart. So your job, if you are truly a badass butterfly, is to know what that dream is, to listen to that dream, and to honor that dream. So just to give you a little example of this, I have, since I was 15 years old, wanted to live in Italy. And for some reason, I thought I had to wait until I was maybe 54 or 55 or 56 in order to do that. And so I was kind of just avoiding even trying to live in Italy. I wasn't even, like, the thought would come up, a feeling would come up, and I would divert my energy to something else. I would, I've lived, just to show you, I've lived in Croatia, I've lived in France, I've lived in Spain, I've spent extended time in Cambodia, India, Indonesia. I'm talking months. Why is it that I have not been back to Italy since like 1992? And here I am all over the world, Costa Rica, Brazil. What? Why not go to Italy? Well, I wasn't being very badass. I was doing some things that were, honoring my life, but I was not really listening to my heart and following the impulses that said, you belong in Italy. Last year, well, actually, the wake-up call came. The wake-up call came, it was 2 or 3 years ago when I started really tuning into this badass butterfly thing. My inner badass butterfly really started waking up. Like, I started getting really, really, really serious about honoring the true desire inside myself. And when that happened, I had a whole lot of work to do, okay? I was not a person who had their lives together. I've done a lot of things, I've had a lot of success, but I'm not a person. 3 years ago, I did not have my act together like I have my act together now. I'm a totally different person, showing up in a totally different way in the world today. But back then, but I had to get to the point where I am today. And right now, just in, if you don't know me, I actually live in Italy. I've been living here for a year. I have a beautiful home. I have a dog. I have a community. I'm learning Italian. I'm opening a business here. I'm really doing the work to listen to my heart, to listen to my soul. And let me tell you, sometimes it's really scary. Don't get me wrong, Italy is gorgeous. Italy's not scary. But what is scary is keeping my mind positive when scary challenges come up. We all have different things that we find to be scary. And what's scary for me may not be scary for you. Like I said, I've traveled all over the world. Some people are like, oh my God, that is so brave. And I'm like, really? That's the easy thing. All you have to do is show up. Why is that hard? You know? But for me, there are lots of things that are really, really challenging that that I've been confronting over the last year and the last 2 years to heal my mindset so that I can be a vibrational match to success in Italy. It's not enough to come to Italy and to be half-ass and um, to become a drain on Italy's energy. It is not enough for me to show up and to be half-ass. I have to show up and meet Italy at the level of Italy's excellence. Italy is a place, just like France, where the standards of learning, the standards of presentation, the standards of what you offer people have to be really high. People pay attention to detail. They pay attention to, to history. They ask questions. They dig deep. You cannot get away with doing things in a superficial level here. So this is really great for me because it means that I have to up my game on what I offer. I have to come across as a professional. There's no corner cutting. I'm an immigrant, so I have to meet the government where it says that I have to come. It wants me to do my taxes in this way. It wants me to prepare my invoices in this way. It wants me to set up the security on my website in this way. And they have a whole list, and I have to be accountable to all those things. And of course, even if I was living in the United States or whether I'm living in Costa Rica or I'm in Indonesia, that is also true. However, there are certain places where you can get away with cutting corners, like in the United States. I felt like it was really easy to cut corners in the US and to just go ahead and do things, which is how I lived my life for the first 47 first 47 years of my life. The last 2 years, I've stopped cutting corners and I've started going really, really deep into integrity. All right. So everything that I've said to you is really, really important because right now we have the full moon in Aries. Now, the full moon in Aries is super significant because the sign of Aries represents your inner masculine authority. So what does that mean? We have many levels of authority, but there are two main levels. We have our inner feminine authority. That's how we feel, how we intuit, how we connect, how we dance, how we receive, how we flow. These are non-rational, non-masculine, logical things, okay? With masculine authority, it's the other side of that. It's our logic, our rationale, our linear thinking, our ability to put things together and to take steps based on logic, right? So these things are operating in all of us all the time. We are both rational and intuitive. We are both action taking and we're also allowing. There are times when we're pushing forward, boom, 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 walking, moving forward. And there are times when we're We're just sitting and we're just letting things happen. We're taking our time and we're just letting things unfold like a flower. So when the full moon, which is feminine, moves into the sign of Aries, which is masculine, you have an inner process of awakening. The moon, and when she's full, is about awakening, shining light, getting enlightenment. You have this inner feminine awakening inside the masculine authority. So Aries, the sign of Aries by nature, is masculine, rational, and strong. It is known as the war maker in the zodiac. It's very direct. It's impatient. It wants things now. It's larger than life. It rules your physical body, your muscular self. It's athletic. It's youthful, it's energetic, it's sexual, it's powerful. It's like a very sexy man, right? Who thinks very well of himself. So, and it's important for you to know, and let me just throw this in, that we are all affected by every sign, whether we're born in a sign or whether we're not. So do not ever just read your own sign. Yes, you need to read about what the sun is doing in your sign for that month, of course. But when the sun is in Aries or when the sun is in Virgo, you, my friend, are changing from whatever you were born as into an Aries or a Virgo. You are changing and are affected just with every sun movement. As the sun moves through the different signs of the zodiac, you are changing along with the sun. So this is really awesome because every year we go through 12 entire changes in our being. And every time we change and experience a brand new self, then we are becoming more. We're really becoming that sign in that moment. And it's really powerful because some signs have more fun than other signs. And for me, the fun signs of the zodiac are Taurus, Aries, Taurus, Scorpio, Sagittarius, right? Those are the fun signs for me. You have different fun signs. I'm an Aquarius. I'm born as an Aquarius. And if you ask me, being an Aquarius is hard. Being an Aquarius is hard because, well, I'm not going to go into that, but just understand that from my perspective, I'm an Aquarius and it's challenging up in here. We're ruled by Capricorn and by Uranus. So it's like being ruled by something that contracts and makes you dig deep and something that expands and makes you think big. Think small and detailed, think big. So it's got its good points, you know. I can get some stuff done. I have a wide range of things that I can do, but it's also very challenging in here because of the other stuff. So anyway, all of this is to say that going back to the point, which is that we have this beautiful full moon energy that's rising in the sign of Aries. And what I want you to understand right now is that over the next 3 days, you have a great opportunity to unite your inner intuition with your outer action and your you have an opportunity to unite this beautiful, rich intuition with everything that you want to do. So the moon, when it is full, casts an amazing silvery light on the landscape. If you're lucky, you've seen the landscape with just the moon and no city lights, no street lights. And what you see is this beautiful, rich, deep black and blue overlaid with these crisp angles of white or silvery light. And it is very magical. It's very spiritual. So what the moon does is she creates light and shadows. So when you try to walk on that landscape, it's very challenging because the moon casts weird light that mulls all the shadows together. So what happens is when the moon becomes full, we're walking through shadowlands. We're walking through shadow. So you cannot just move forward over the next 3 days. So you can expect that over the next 3, 4, 5 days, every step you take is going to be a little bit dangerous. If you're walking on like out in the woods, I'm surrounded by nature. If I go walking out there like in the field and I try to go forward with my masculine logical self, using my masculine eyes to try to see the ground, which is the masculine way. Oh, we're going to go here. We're going to do things in a logical way. We're going to try to, look and see our path and move very quickly, which is also the nature of Aries. What's going to end up happening is I'm going to twist my ankle. I'm going to step wrongly, twist my ankle, and end up hurting myself. So when the moon is full, your job is really to cut off your eyes and just go with your heart. You slow down, you pause, you listen, you wait. And then you take your steps slowly, feeling your way. This is not the time to try to get things done. You're probably not going to get things done. And if you try to get things done in a masculine, gotta get it done way, you might find yourself hurting yourself or hurting the people around you or just messing up your project. So now is the time to take a moment, pause, and feel your way. Let spirit guide you. Use your intuition. Use that divine feminine gift that is yours and let it guide you through the shadows. So what this means in your day-to-day life is simply, just as I said, you're going to take your time moving forward, whether it's in a relationship, whether it's trying to get things done at work, whether it's, doing your workout, just slow down a little bit. Now, as I said, Aries rules your body. It represents your masculine authority. It is your logical thinking self. So whatever you are working on, whatever is important to you right now, I want you to use the inner part of you, your intuition, to inform every single thing that you do in your actions over the next several days. So even before you go out today, just take a few minutes to actually just sit. Of course, you've done your meditation already this morning, right? You've already sat and done your meditation. If you've not, you definitely need to sit and do your meditation. But this time, though, now that you've done your meditation and you're going on the day and you're about to go out into the world, before you walk out the door, just pause a moment. You can pick up your keys, you can pick up your purse, but just pause and feel. Tune into your physical body. Feel the physical sensations. Right now, I have a pain that just started right here in the back of my neck. Ooh, it hurts a lot. I'm not trying to fix the pain. I'm not trying to make it go away. What I'm doing right now is just feeling into that pain and letting that pain speak to me. And that pain just said to me that I need to heed my own advice. Oh, yeah? Who are you talking to? Me? Heed my own advice? What? Yes. My pain said, you've been pushing too hard. You're trying to make things happen, and you need to sit back and relax. So believe me, when I'm done with this live stream, I'm going to take it easy. I'm going to go for a hike in the mountains, and I'm going to just relax and come home and have a nice dinner, maybe have a beer, and just chill out. I might even watch a movie tonight, okay? I'm just saying. All right, I'm listening to you. And as I can get feedback, because just in acknowledging that pain has totally gone away, which is like, okay, you got the message, I can go away. So there's some advice for you. Hey, there's my advice in real time. Just take a moment, pause, and listen. And then, you go about your day. When you feel something, just be aware of what wants to be spoken to you. Your spirit guides talk to you through your body, through your through physical sensations, through aches and pains, also through glimmers of light, through smells. Spirit is always trying to get our attention. And so whenever you have a full moon, no matter what sign it's in, you want to become more aware of what's happening inside you and what your senses are bringing. I like to say that all the senses are really good when the moon is full, except your eyes. You want to use your eyes less, because as human beings living in the three-dimensional, like Western United States and Western Europe, we want to see too much evidence of stuff. And Spirit is like, y'all need to stop trying to see so much evidence with your eyes and instead start feeling the evidence in your body and feeling the evidence in your feeling nature, so in your physical sensations, in your emotions, in your energy in motion, okay? So that's one thing I want you to take away from today's live stream. Now, I want to just tell you for the moment that I'm going to be doing these live streams every single week on Saturdays at 4:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, if you're watching on my website, there will be an email. There's a sign up box. If you sign up, put your email in there. I will send you an invite to watch the live stream each week. And what I'm going to invite you to do is to submit a question that you want me to read, or to do a reading for you, right? So you'll submit your question. I will do the reading in the live stream, and then you can watch the live stream and get your reading. You can get it live, or you can watch the replay on my channel, okay? And each week, my whole goal for doing this live stream is so that every week you are having some kind of a guidance from Spirit. I've learned over the last 6 or 7 years that Spirit communicates big time through me. Like I'm blown away by what Spirit says. And the thing that I love is that, and the reason I love it and I'm owning it more and more now is because what's getting channeled through me is also getting channeled through the teachers that I have that I love. So I'll be looking at blogs, I'll be looking at videos, and my teachers, the people I learn from, are saying the exact same thing, giving me same message. And we're all coming from different perspectives. Some people are coming from astrology. Some people are coming from like this psychic thing. Some people are reading tarot. And some people are just, just have their own, they're just in the groove with, different levels of consciousness. They're coming from the 11th dimension or the 5th dimension or the 8th dimension, all these kinds of things. It's really, really, really beautiful. It is so beautiful to be connected. So anyway, I'm writing a book also. And so I'm at a point right now in the book writing that I can actually start doing these live streams consistently. So this is why you see me here right now today. This is my first sojourn back into this work and sharing this work. I mean, sharing it like this. So, but I will be here every Saturday at this time. That's all I really have to say about that. And so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to actually do a tarot reading for us as a group. And actually, if you are on this, I want to make sure if you are on this call right now, or if you're watching this right now and you're on YouTube, you can submit a question to me through question just in the chat reading for you. Although I think I'm having trouble with technology, I pray that you're actually able to see this. Because I don't know. I'm just assuming that everything is going well, okay? Ugh. All right, going with the flow. So if you have a question, enter it in the chat. I'm happy to read for you. In the meantime, I'm going to do a reading for us all for this week. And I'm going to do this very simply. The question I'm asking is, okay, what I'm asking is, what does Spirit want us to know? Now, when I ask a question like this, you have to assume that if you're watching this video, this question, you're led here to hear this question and to hear this answer. So don't lightly, my friend. This is for you. Don't ignore it, okay? So listen closely, yeah? All right. So let me just get a little more clear here. Okay, let me see what I can do. Hold on one second, I think I'm recognizing where there might be an issue technologically. Boom, boom. My bad. Oh my God, I hope this thing gets recorded. Oh, sorry, Spirit, I didn't have it together. All right, I'm gonna just go on and pray that this is good. All right, so this week, Spirit wants us to know okay, this feels really important. All right, so I have pulled the Knight of Pentacles, and I'm using the Shadowscapes Tarot. I love this deck, and I really felt the need to get a message from here. I hope that you can see this. It's the Knight of Coins, and the message is this. Oh, this message. This message is just what I was talking about. So the Knight of Pentacles, or the Knight of Coins, is a guy, a man, who is really focused on achieving his goal. And he takes a really practical way of doing things. And the thing is, this is so perfect because he's rational, he's logical, he does things boom, boom, boom. Knights in tarot, knights represent the extremes of things. So this guy is an extreme guy who is very focused on getting his goals done, and he will get his goals done. He will. But He's way focused on getting them done in his way. He wants it his way, or it's the highway. And this is great to think about right now because we have this full moon in Aries. Aries is masculine authority. Aries wants it done its way, his or her way, or it's the highway. Aries wants it done now. In tarot, Aries is represented by the Emperor. And the Emperor is someone who knows they are important, they know their worth, and they will not take no for an answer. When they tell you they want something, they expect it to arrive in the time that they say it, right? They're very, very strong, very, very powerful, very, very authoritative. So this card is coming forth to represent the yes in your desires. So you can have your desires, you can have your authority, you can have what you want, but we want you to soften the method of obtaining, of calling it in, and go more feminine. Because with this beautiful Knight of Pentacles, the Knight of Coins, he's dogmatic and he's got blinders on, like he doesn't see any other way but his way. And Spirit wants us to not work so hard. Spirit is like, wait, why don't you let us deliver a little bit of something, something to you? Why don't you let us give you a little bit? Why don't you just allow this flower to blossom and you stop digging in the rose and trying to open up the flower. Stop trying to dig in the rose and open up the flower. That's not the way flowers work. What you do is you just appreciate the flower, and the flower will blossom, and it will blossom into the most beautiful rose, right? So that is the message that is coming in most strong for today, that our job is to allow life and our desires to blossom. And this week, that's going to be very important as we let this full moon arise in the powerful sign of Aries. All right, so that is all that I'm going to say for today. I'm going to tell you right now that you can expect these future meetings to be a little more learning oriented. I like to do teaching, so I want you to learn astrology along with me, right? So I'm going to give you lots of information, but I'm also going to give you a lot of intuition, like things that you really need to look for and things that are going to make your life easier this week. Last week, people were suffering. Oh my God, people were suffering because there were so many relationship upheavals. And people didn't know what was going on. And it felt really bad for a lot of people. People were blindsided by people they trust. They felt blindsided. Again, this is this whole preparation of authority. People in authority, and everybody is in authority. This is the thing. This was the problem over the last 10 days. Everybody is in authority. Everybody is an authority of themselves. And right now we have the sun in Libra. So the sun in Libra is like two people coming together to create a relationship. Well, when you have one authority coming into a relationship with another authority, that can either be beautiful as the two authorities harmonize, or it can create some kind of friction as they push up against one another in not a comfortable way. And so you might have noticed that over the last, well, for me, to be honest with you, it started when the sun moved in Libra. It started immediately. I started getting challenges to my own authority within myself, right? Because even within yourself, there are dynamics of authority. There is your inner child. There is your your higher self, there's your soul, there's your ego. So you have all these beings that are wanting the position of power. In my book, the higher self is the position of power. That is it. There is one source of power. It is the higher self. The ranking officer is the soul. And then comes the inner child, and then comes the ego. So that for me is a hierarchy that I use in my spirituality. So what was happening and what has been happening since the end of September when the sun moved into Libra is my ego has been trying to jump up and trying to take over the authority from my higher self so that, and I've been letting it. This is the problem. I've been letting it because I am not my ego, right? I am the higher self, which is the one in charge of the soul, the ego, and the inner child, and all the other dynamics that are going on inside me. So I was letting my ego come and take over everything, and I was seeing the world through the eyes of my ego, and I was having fear, and I was feeling threatened, and I was, acting out and trying to take revenge on things, on ghosts, like acting like a crazy person is what I was doing. I was just acting wild and crazy. So yeah, and so all of this is to say that if you were experiencing anything like what I've described, my heart goes out to you. Understand that hierarchy. Understand where your ego is coming in and trying to force its agenda on you, and do the work to take back your true authority, which belongs with your higher self, which belongs with your God self. All right? All right, lovelies, there are no questions coming in right now, so I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Thank you so much for watching. I wish you a really blessed full moon in Aries. Yeah, just go out and rock that, okay? That's your joy. Enjoy that. Do something powerful with the union of the masculine authority and the feminine authority. Take your time, slow down, and look for peace in every moment. All right, Badass Butterfly is signing off. All right, so I'll see you next week, Saturday at 4 o'clock. No, it's 4 o'clock here in Italy. It's 10 o'clock a.m. that the program starts. Every Saturday, Eastern Standard Time. So on the East Coast of the US, 7 a.m. if you're on the West Coast. All right, signing off, sending you lots of love from Italy, where it's a beautiful day, sunny, autumnal. The leaves are turning gold and red, and it's just beautiful. I love autumn. So sending you lots of love from an autumnal Italy. Florence, come and visit me. Mwah! Ciao. Okay, I don't even know how to stop this. What? How do I stop? Okay, I found it. Found it. Bye.